trying to show this to me for quite a while, and I just kept avoiding him and slipping out. And then he invited me to his lake house. I couldn't get away. And except for about 3.5 days. I think we were there 4 days. And I avoided him pretty good for 3.5 days. And then it was like, okay, fine, you can show me this thing, but you know, I'm a no. Because I said, have you seen my Facebook page? You know, I had built another company before and got to the point where I'm the 13th highest paid person in the history of that company. And I lived on several $100,000 a year that I got from them for over 20 years. And so I really wasn't looking. And, but around 11:30 the last night, at night, he grabbed a bottle of scotch and 4 cigars, went out to his porch, and it was this rainy night. It was truly a rainy night, not just for effect, but it was a rainy night. And he did his famous napkin presentation, except then it was 37 napkins. And it was really windy and blowing. And so every time he got done with a napkin, he put it on the side, it would take off. And I was trying to catch it. Like, how am I ever going to remember the order of these things, you know, if I go see it? And so he finally made it all through. We started at 11:30. I think it was around 4:15 that morning he finished. And that was the end of the bottle and the 4 cigars. And so next day, I told Jen, my wife, I said, man, I think I want to do this thing, you know? And she said, well, what's in it for us if you want? She said, I was afraid you might want to, actually. She said, what's in it for us if we do? And I said, well, Gene said. And I said that a lot. Gene said. Even if it was my idea, Gene said it. Right? Worked for a while. And he said, if you do the same thing at eXp as you did for Keller, instead of $300,000 a year, it'll be $5 to $10 million a year. And he was right. It is, and it's really good. And what's interesting is, this is in the first 7 levels. I think overall, we figured our total team is around 73, maybe 75,000, but 20,000 of them are on the first 7 levels. So it's a big impact, really. I actually jotted down some notes so I would appear intelligent. I wrote down, give him a brief story. Did that count? Is that a good one? All right. I'm going to tell you, you want to build this when you don't need to, so that when you need it, it's already done. And I will tell you a couple of stories that happened to me as a living example of that. And I can give you the how first, I think, then I'll do the why after, because I said to Brent, do you want me to leave him laughing, cheering, or crying? Which one would you rather? And I think crying is better, because then it's an emotion in it. So prepare, drink some water. First of all, I'll tell you why in a bit, but I've pretty much been AWOL for the last 2.5 years. We started doing this, and I was never a big major agent like some of the talented people I see coming across. It's unbelievable. Oh, I was going to say, by the way, just to give you an example, where's Curtis? Curtis, are you on my 8th or 9th level?
8th.
8th level. And he just passed 9,000 agents. I'm as happy as I can be. You heard, he's on my 8th level. Thanks, Curtis. Glad to help out, buddy. I'm pissed off about that. You're allowed to laugh now. You're going to cry later. Just be ready. I can truly tell you, it's not about you. even though we think it is. It's really about how many people you help, not only and how many people you touch, not only in real estate, not just in real estate, but in and out of real estate as well. There's so many different things that you can be able to do. One of the things we were blessed to be able to do was create a family foundation, and we donated all our eXp stock into the foundation to be able to give scholarships to at my high school to the bottom 20% of the class. And for trade schools, right? For trade school. And I found an organization there. We gave a 7-figure donation. And I found a social organization there that was very big into education as well, and they matched the funds, right? And so we're able to, goal is we're going to put 1,000 kids through trade school over the next 10 years. And we know that's going to touch tens of thousands of lives. Just that. And they have nothing to do with real estate. Although a couple of really sharp ones said, what is it you did to make the money that you're giving to do I said, here's my number. Call me when you get done with your trade school, because I want you to have a basic income coming in, and then I'll teach you how to get wealthy if you're interested. And it's exciting to see the kids get really, really excited and believe. Just like, you know, the older we get, the less we want to appear excited to someone else. We want to be like not impressed. So when I show up, like now, when I go to the high school, I drive my blue Ferrari, comes in, you know, to the school, and all the kids drool all over it, and all the teachers don't even look. True. The kids don't know they might not get it. They believe they can have a shot. The teachers know they have no shot. I mean, truth, okay? And it's really interesting when you start seeing all that. And so recently I decided, because of a few things that happened, to start a whole new group, right, from scratch. And some of you, have some of you seen the wealth chart video that I have on YouTube? Yeah. Raise your hand if you've seen it. Okay. Raise your hand if you have not seen it. Quite a few. Okay. You want to go to YouTube and you search Rob Flick Wealth Chart Training. And it's a 26-minute video, and it shows how to go from $0 to $500,000 a year in revenue share in 3 years or less, taking up no more than 4 hours a week doing it, if you plug into the system and you work it well. And I remember, this is sort of part of the system. It's sort of a grandchild of the system, if you will, because a couple of years ago when we did our first one, we have, 56 people total. 56. And today, most of those people are billionaires and multimillionaires that were there that are still with us today because of the systems that eXp allowed us to participate in, right? And we utilize it in a big way. So, one of the things that I tell people, and I like to make it a game, to me, life is fun, okay? I look at a lot of you and I think that's why it's fun. Have you ever looked at yourself? They say ugly strikes 2 out of every 3. Look right, look left. If you don't see it, you're it. Careful, look to your right and look to your right. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. So, when I started over, I've got this new group, and I do a lunch and learn every Wednesday in a local town in Scottsdale, Arizona, right? 11:30 every Wednesday. We call it our Wealth Building Wednesday. And we have agents now that we're getting started, and it's like a brand new cell, if you will, right? And there's people that bring people, there's people that don't, there's people that, you know, their guests don't show, they have this kind of an excuse or for whatever, and there's a high level of frustration. It's what I did the very first time when I first got started in Texas. We had a couple of agents that came and showed, some didn't, some, you know, had some excuse they couldn't get there. One's cat got diarrhea, they couldn't show up. I mean, you hear everything. It's unbelievable when you hear all the excuses. And, but that turned into 70,000 people over time. And I know doing it again is going to be the same thing. People ask, I think Brent asked, they want to know, is it too late? Yes, it's too late. Sorry. Is that what you wanted to hear? Okay, sure. No, trust me. We are only just getting started. When you think about it, we have less than 90,000 agents, right? That's not too bad. There's 2 million agents in the United States. There's 20 million agents in the world. What's bigger? 19 million left? No, 19, more than that. 19 million, many more. Or from 0 to 90. We're going to have 500,000 agents. I believe we'll have 1 million. That's only 5% of the agent population worldwide. 5%. I believe we can get 5%. We're better than 5%. We're more like 100% because I think eventually we'll get them all. Right? If I live long enough, I would get to see that. However, there's always that person that just got their new license. So there's always going to be some that we don't get right away. But you got to have believe and know that we have the deal. Right now, currently, we have the deal. Nothing comes near what we've got. If you're going to be in real estate and you can be able to take advantage of all the things eXp offers, I think you're an idiot if you don't. And I tell them that. I said, when I doing presentations, I always say, you guys heard my little red line? There's a fine line between ignorance and stupid. Ignorance, you don't know what you don't know, and it's okay because you don't know it, so you don't have to do anything about it because you don't know and it's not your fault. But if I tell you the secrets of what I'm about to tell you, and you don't take any action, you cross the line. And I don't want any stupid friends, so should I stop now? Really? They go, no, I'm tough. I said, we'll see. Because I get all these unbelievable things. So starting over. So guess what? Last month, I started my new campaign. I said, I did a brand new virginal wealth chart with nothing on it, just to do the chart. Because the other one is war weary. It's really filled out. I stopped working it when I passed over 4,000 agents in the team, in the first 7 levels. That's when I stopped filling out my wealth chart. And the people that I work with, I always have them take a photo of the wealth chart at the end of each month and text it to me, so that I can see what's going on. And if you watch the video, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But there's different places you place the names of people you've shown the presentation to. Not people you've sponsored, but there's a place for that too. However, it's very, very direct in what the wealth chart's going to look like over time and how everything drops in. It literally, you've got to have it somewhere where you can see it every day. It will talk to you. It will haunt you. It will move you to action, or you will quit. Right? Because you say, I am not worth it. And you are worth it. You're worth it in a very, very big way. You just haven't realized that yet. And you don't know this, but I track all the major players within my organization, which is most of the company, actually. And most people with a huge business have one major builder. One. Very few people have multiple. Very few. So you think about this, you are one person away from the one. From the one. And I have many people that make $1 million a year in rev share on the team, and they have one major builder that came along and boom, changed their life. They had to get their own personals, like what they call flippers? Flippers? What are they? FLQAs, right? What a great thing. Hi, what do you attribute all your flippers to? I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. So anyway, last month, February, and I started 15th of February, 15th of February, 15th of March, and I shared the presentation with 15 agents, right? 15 different agents. Not one of them signed up. So I was frustrated, just like some of y'all. I've had some people say, I showed this to 17 people, not one of them has joined. What am I doing wrong? Nothing. You are not doing anything wrong. You are sowing seeds. You are planting. Some of them aren't getting watered. Some of them, the sun's too hot. Some of them, the birds get. Right? They go home, they talk to their spouse. Oh, I don't think you should do that. My husband says I shouldn't do this. That'll work. That'll work. And I was frustrated, and I heard unbelievable excuses. The most stupid things I've ever heard. I mean, there's a lot of stupid out there, I'm telling you, right? And so I realized it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You're just trying to sift through all the stupid. And some of you live in stupid, so you got to get through a lot of them fast. You think I'll kill you? Look at your life. I mean, come on. Right? Yes or no? I mean, hello? Am I speaking to you or am I? Hello? You guys out there? Right. I can't believe how many cancellations. I actually had, I counted them, 47 meetings to get 15 to see it. Because they canceled, they had excuses, they rescheduled, they forgot about it, they didn't show up. Just like Brent didn't show up for the first time we were going to show him. Oh, I'll be in my office right away. I'm right near it. Don't worry. I just forgot that boom. Right? I mean, it happens to all of us. It's not any big deal. You've been forgiven a long time ago. And so I was seriously frustrated in the beginning because it's been a while. Remember, I've done nothing for 2.5 years for health reasons, and I'll explain that. And again, that's the crying part. And but I wasn't having anybody, and I take it personal almost because I know what will happen. I almost want to sit down and say, do you know who I am? Do you know what I can do for you? Do you know what we can do together? Do you know what's possible? Do you have any idea? And they don't, trust me. They have no idea, right? That's why these deals are so great. Get everybody you possibly can and come to them because they don't see anything like this in the world out there. It just doesn't happen. And so I was feeling super frustrated. And I was telling the new group that I've got, this new group of 10, that you want to go out there and get 100 no's. Don't work, because they're all frustrated what's going on. I said, listen, just go out and get 100 no's. Get a piece of paper, draw it up so you've got 10 by 10, little marks, and go out and get 100 no's. Okay? And I told every one of them, if you can get 100 no's in a row without a single yes, I'll give you $1,000. If nobody shows up. But I said, if you sponsor one, you're out. Because you got to start again. You need 100 in a row, 100 no's. How fast can you get 100 no's? I want a yes or a no. I don't want a fucking maybe. Sorry. Sorry about that. But I really hate the damn maybes. I got no place on my chart. It's yes or no. That's real stupid. Jesus. So 100 no's. Go, how fast can you get 100 no's? And you can kind of talk them out of joining too. Because there's a little bit of a takeaway. It's fine. So listen, I know you're a no, it's fine. I just got to practice. I'm with this new deal. My mentor has said I've got to do this presentation. I suck at it. I'm supposed to get better. I need 100 no's. I'm sure you're a no. No problem. Will you be a no for me? Works? Oh yeah, I'll be a no. No problem. Okay. Well, the problem is, once you see this, you cannot unsee it. And it will haunt you. And I'm going to help haunt you by giving you examples of my lifestyle. In a nice way. You should come join us. We're having a great time. Oh, look at this new car I bought. Oh, look at this new house I got. Look at this new vacation place. Look at this. Look at all my friends. Look at my friend's new boat. Not a bad boat. Yeah. I have 2 other friends, 2 people I work with, just bought a jet. Look at my friend's new jet. It's really great. You don't have to have a jet if you got friends with a jet. And you don't need a boat if you got friends with a boat. They say it's like taking a shower and cold water and throwing $100 bills down the drain. I think it's more like $1,000 bills in your boat. Anyway, if you get yourself 100 no's, take the pressure off. It's not up to you. You don't know if they cross that line or not. You don't know which side of the line they're on. They don't hurt enough sometimes. As Brent said, most people go from pain, not to gain. Very rarely do they go to gain. Only the superstars go to gain. Most people move because of pain. It's like the farmer sitting on this porch and his dog next to him is moaning, oh, and the person coming The salesman comes and says, how come, what's wrong with your dog? Farmer says he's sitting on a nail. And the dog goes, oh, oh. And the sales guy says, why doesn't he move? And the farmer says, don't hurt him enough yet. When it hurts him enough, he'll get off of it and get on with it. Same thing with people you're out there, right? You've got to show them, you've got to persevere, you've got to keep going. So I drew my new wealth chart. I'm going to go a little over, sorry. I drew my wealth chart and I put this. Remember, I had 5 people who were definite no's. Real solid no's. Really enjoyable no's. So they don't go on the chart, they're gone, right? I had 5 people that told me, this looks kind of cool, timing's not really right, but I'm interested. I think I want to join, I'm just not exactly sure when, but I'm interested. So they go on the part where I show you where to do that. And the other 5, they thought it was interesting, it was good, they didn't tell me to piss off, so they go on this other side, right? And I stood back and looked at it, and all of a sudden, all the frustration that I had is, what is wrong with these people? What is wrong with me? I even thought, what am I saying wrong? Nothing. They were just not ready yet. It's part of creating that funnel. And when I stood back and looked at my wealth chart with the names and the places, you've got to go see that video, I'm telling you. Okay? All the frustration went away, and I said, that's exactly what the wealth chart's supposed to look like. And in time, I flipped it over, it will look like that. With thousands and thousands of people as part of your tribe. And all the frustration went away, and it's become a game. I'm going to get 100 no's. I'm going to get 100 no's as fast as I possibly can. Someone will screw up and join. That's okay. Then I'm going to have them go get 100 no's. We're going to have a trip for everybody who got 100 no's. We're going to do some fun stuff for things to be able to do that for them. Right? It's just a really, really good time. Maybe I'll loan them the Ferrari for a day. Something. You know, it's just, have you ever driven one of those puppies? Fast. Although we just took delivery of a new Lucid. Faster. Yeah, the Ferrari is 660 horsepower. Unbelievable fast. The Lucid is 1,000 horsepower. Electric. Instant. It reminds me of when I used to go off the catapults on the aircraft carriers. Pretty close. Right? Except I'm only going 170, 180 on the on-ramp. On the aircraft carrier, I was going 250 by the time I hit the end of that. Yeah, a lot of, that was fun. Okay, so what I'm saying is, the reason why I say build it now when you don't have to, so that you'll have it built when you need it. It's your safety net. Yes, I know you don't need it now. It's really cool. How many people are in the same situation as you? Don't be so selfish. Let's start thinking of others. Who can you bless? I want to find out if these people are people. Right? If that makes sense. And the reason I even started looking for residual income or passive income was because years ago, a couple of decades ago, I got cancer. Nearly died. Went into the hospital. I was top of my game. I was with Coldwell Banker. I was doing really, really great. At the time, I was 32 years old. I was living in an 8,500 square foot house, indoor swimming pool with sliding glass walls, glass ceiling opened up. My master bedroom was 2,000 square feet. My closet was 1,000 square feet. I thought I had it made. I spent $100,000 in airfare just going to parties that year. And I remember when I went back and checked to find out I had a 5-car garage, and life was unbelievable. I thought I had it made, and all of a sudden, basic physical, I go into the hospital, I go into the doctor, and he said, I got good news and bad news for you. I'm an ex-rugby player. I said, fine, tell me the bad news, I can take it. He says, you got cancer, it doesn't look good. That went right over my head. I said, what did he tell that guy? I said, all right, what's the good news? He said, I got you scheduled for surgery in the morning. Got an opening. So I went 4 to 6 years without ever being able to go to work. Lost everything and went bankrupt. While I was in the hospital, I said, I want to develop a 6-figure residual, just $100,000 a year. I didn't care about rich or wealthy. I just want $100,000 a year so I can live full time for whatever time I have left. I didn't have a safety net then, and I lost everything. So I went around doing it, and that's why I built the previous company, and I was very happy, and I stopped because I hit my goal, and that was it. I wasn't after rich. But what I noticed was I was the only one that was able to get free in all that time. In 18 years since they've been gone, no one's passed me. They tell me I'm number 13 highest paid person in the history of that company, and no one's passed me in 18 years, and I haven't been recruiting to that company in 18 years. What's wrong with that system? That's what I thought, right? And so I see this. This is the most incredible thing ever. And I said, when I saw it, I said, my friends will get free now. I got all kinds of friends that are free now. I said, we'll all get free if they just have faith and belief. Well, I never thought I'd need it again. But another time happened in 2012 when I was coming back from another one of the trips because I love to travel. Jen and I met in the travel club. I passed out and I had to go into the hospital. I couldn't breathe. My lungs were collapsing, and I found out that I needed to get 3 stents into my heart. If I hadn't had passive income going, I'd have been wiped out. But I made it through that. 2 years ago, I had a triple bypass and a pacemaker put in that nearly knocked me down, out, gone. And pretty close to nearly dying. For some reason, I was able to bounce back from that, had one of the best surgeries. If I didn't have eXp money my Keller money coming in at that time, no, it was just 2 years ago, wasn't it? 2 years ago was eXp money. That made it through, and we were able to, didn't even feel it financially. Felt it personally, but not. And all the time, Jen was with me, stuck with me, doing it, taking care of whatever needed to be done, never questioned, always stood up and took care of me, which is really great. Apparently, I need taken care of a lot. Well, what happened a year ago, a little over a year ago, after working out and being a little dehydrated, I went into the steam room in Puerto Rico, and I passed out. And I was out for quite a while. Jen didn't know where I was. It took several hours for her to find me, but I was in a hospital. And they wouldn't let her in. She went in to go find it. They wouldn't let her in because they found out I had COVID. When she got into the hospital, she found me lying in the bed in my own feces with no covers, no sheet, nothing, in an ice-cold room, shivering uncontrollably, incoherent, nearly dead. She, within a couple of days, was able to get me out of there. They didn't want to let me out of the hospital, but she felt if I didn't get out of that hospital, I would be dead. And she got me here back to the United States, and because we have the money and the finances, because of eXp, because we built our safety net when we didn't need it, so we got it when we did need it, we were able to find a concierge cardiologist that has a 20-year track record of rebuilding damaged hearts, non-surgically. And she has completely, to this day now, rebuilt my heart 100%. And the day I got into the office, that she took me in, when Jen took me into the hospital and went to the office, she took me into the office of this cardiologist. All my numbers, they took blood tests and checked, were red. She said, I don't know why he's not dead. I thought he might die during this office visit. That was a year ago. I wonder where I was. I was busy. We also have been able to go to Panama to get stem cell therapy. Very expensive, but it's amazing how it changes your body, at least in our experience anyway. But I will tell you, if there's anyone that deserves all the accolades that you're giving me today, which I appreciate, is my wife, Jennifer. Really been with me for good or for bad, for better or for worse, without question. Last thing I'm going to tell you about is I just realized a dream of mine that I've had for 30 years. My daughter, who's now 32, she was 4 years old. She discovered horses. She's never left that dream ever in her life. And she's wanted a horse. You talk about asking for a pony, she asks for it all the time. And she's a bit of a wild child. She's been kicked out of every school she's ever been in, even one that I founded, and she got kicked out. Serious. Yeah. That was a Christian school. Yeah. You should have seen the teacher and student conferences. They were great. Anyway, I always put goals in front of her she never hit, and it looked like she was never going to hit them. And I got to the point where I said, you know, I don't want my kids waiting until I die to reap the benefits of what I've done. I said, I want to see them in their passion. Imagine your why. My why was I want my kids to be able to exist and to be in their passion. I want my friends to be able to be and exist in their passion. What does it cost you to finance your life of passion? What would you do? If time and money were no object, what would you do? What would you do differently? Where would you live? Where would you be? What would you do? Once we know that number, we have the ability, you have the ability to bless anyone out there to finance and create for them their dream life, their 10-plus life. You can do that. A year ago, with the help of Monica, here somewhere, we were able to find the perfect horse farm for my daughter. 22 acres, indoor Olympic arena, outdoor arena, acre pond with trout, fish, and bass, and trucks and tractors and all kinds of paraphernalia that I don't even know what they do. But I'm in the horse farm business now. My daughter's running it, and she says, I've never worked so hard in my life. She says, but I'm loving it, Dad. I want to thank you a million times for being a dad of your word. I doubted you for a while. Ditto, honey. Anyway, I always tell people I'm the perfect example that if I can make this thing happen, anybody can. Because I've never been a massive, big, giant producer. I was decent, but I was like a little engine that could. I just would never stop. I tried to be consistent and persistent. I tried to be pleasant more often than not. And any one of you can do this. Don't worry about the outcome. You want to sow seeds, plant the seeds. They will grow at their own time. Nobody wants it more than you do when you talk to them. Until you run across the right person. You run across Brent Gove. You run across Sheila Pedro. You run across a Gene Frederick. You run across a Curtis Jones. I don't see people as they are, I see them as they can. When I look at you and I want to start you out, I see 1,000 agents as a result of where you are. Nothing less. It's only you that will slow that down. I will never quit on you. Your team will never quit on you. Don't quit on anybody ever. You never know when they're going to need that safety net, and you're going to be the one that you get a call from a hospital room, and you get a wife or a husband who says, thank you for what you did, that we're able to go through this, and we could get the care, or our daughter was able to get the surgery, or we could make our house payment, or our car payment, and we didn't get thrown out of the house, even if there's a flood and we had no income for 6 months. Your revenue share program saved our house. You get phone calls like that, you will never quit. You will move on. You will take this, and you need to get a why built in your belly so hard that you're not embarrassed to cry in front of 1,000 people. Get it in your head, go for it, and never quit.